Facebook family, friends. I'm gonna wait a second, just in case anybody actually wants to pop onto the live. Otherwise, you can go and watch this later. So I got slammed this weekend. I don't know if you have been watching my lives, and like last week, I was just sharing how I kind of injured my leg a little bit. And it's my shin, probably self-diagnosis, probably a shin splint. Of course, I'm going to go do the emotional work around that. But anyone who knows me, I love to move. I need to move. I get to move. Like, it's a part of me. And hey, Cassie. And, this past weekend, just feeling the fatigue in my leg. I'm about to take, I'm about to go away where I want to be able to move and not be grimacing in pain. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but your legs are something that's very, very important. And so, just kind of, obviously I'm doing my emotional work, and I'm also doing the physical work, the mobility work, the stretching, and doing my part in getting healed and whole and getting things back into alignment, because clearly something's not in alignment. If something is in dis-ease in my body, then something's up, and I get to work on it. Morning. And yes, I'm saying "and" a lot. So this weekend I decided to just kind of take a break. Like, my leg gets really fatigued really quickly, and so I just took a break. I gotta tell you, I pretty much got depressed. I'm not one who really gets depressed. I'm not talking about like clinical depression, but depressed for me, not being able to move. And it's not even about training. Like, sure, I love to train. I have a lot of excess energy. One of the things that I really realized about myself was not being able to train or have movement, because I am a high energy, like constantly go, 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 like I'm a little go-getter. And not being able to move due to a little bit of cripplage, I actually lost energy. I found myself like really drained, really tired, kind of mopey, slightly emotional. I actually had a breakdown yesterday. My best friend asked me what was going on. She was like, "You've been crying?" I literally sat in the garage yesterday. That's like my happy place. I sat in the garage yesterday and I kind of cried a little bit. Like, I was having a little boudet moment, because like not realizing how important movement is to me. And you know what? And then what I did was I became so grateful in that moment, because I actually have legs that I can move. And the whole point of today is, like, I got slammed. I got slammed emotionally. My mindset got slammed, because I am fully aware of the physicality of this. I'm fully aware that it's temporary. And yet in the moment, it's like, oh my God, is this ever going to end? It's kind of like whenever you get a cold. Like, you know how whenever you get a cold, you're like, oh my God, am I ever going to be able to breathe again? Like, I don't even remember what it was like to breathe. And that's exactly what this felt like. That's what it feels like right now. Oh my God, am I ever going to get full mobility in? And that's whenever the rubber meets the road. Like, I got slammed. I did. I got slammed emotionally. I got slammed physically. I can't move the way I want to move. I actually, one of the things that I think, my best friend asked me what was wrong. And at first I was just like, it's nothing, da da da. And then like later I came back around to it and I was like, okay, actually, like, I don't know. And then I just started crying, because I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on. I could tell that I was definitely off. And it took me a little bit to unpack myself that, it was twofold. Number one, I felt like I lost my independence, because it even hurts to drive. And so there's that part of me of, I can't do what I want to do when I want to do it. That part of independence, which is kind of depressing in and of itself. I love to train, so because I have high energy, and not being able to kind of burn some of that off, like, I was feeling like I was too much for other people. Like, okay, and I can't even get away and create space because it hurts for me to drive. And on top of that is, one of the things that I really love to do is I love cutting grass. I like to be outside. I'm an outside person. Like, I'm loving this cool weather because I get to sit outside and kind of enjoy it without sweating. And you know, I had to ask for support with cutting grass. I didn't like that. I didn't like asking for support. Like, where does that show up in your life? Can you relate to what I'm talking about? Like, if you are super independent, sometimes God's gonna put us in a space, be like, hey, hold up. Let's become aware of what's going on. I want you to slow down and I want you to stop for a second. Because sure, you can do a lot of stuff, Court. And I want you to ask for support. I want you to practice asking for support. So I can look at it and I can get into my victim story, be like, oh, I hurt my leg, da da da. I can play the victim card and just go down and spiral down into that. Or I can look at it as an opportunity of, you know what, I get to practice. Number one, I get to practice gratitude. Because there are people who never are going to be able to use their legs. Mine is just a little injured right now. You know, there's people who, they fought for our country and lost their legs. And then on top of that is, you know, I don't like asking for support. It is a huge struggle for me, and to ask for support and then work through all the crazy tape recorder stuff that comes up by asking someone to support. You know, if that's something that you struggle with, or even if you struggle with depression and moodiness, like that's not really something that I overly struggle with. I struggled a good bit with it this weekend. And if you have the ability to get movement, I highly recommend doing it. I actually decided that I was going to train. I had to modify my training this morning so I wouldn't like injure anything. So I just did some upper body stuff and did a lot of mobility work this morning. I'm considering that as part of my training today and this week. And you know, is depression or like a feeling of self-worth not good enough? You know, if you can move, like this is my motivational Monday speech spill, get some movement in. And there's nothing wrong with asking other people for support. And if you struggle with it, because this is what came up for me, like I have to prove my value to people. That's the lie that I tell myself, is I don't need to ask for support, or I don't want to ask for support because I have to prove my value to everybody all the time. That's the lie. That's like my core lie there, which is not the truth. I get to ask people for support. As a coach, that's what a life coach does. That's what a performance coach does. That's what a health coach does. That's what a wellness coach does. That's what a pastor coach does. That's what your life group leader does, is, you know, they support you. So if asking for support is something that you struggle with, DM me, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. I'll get on a call with you and let's sort through and ask some powerful questions as to what is the root in that. Because part of living life is having people do life with you. And I see that some of y'all are feeling it. So that is my Motivational Monday. If you were feeling depressed and under the weather, if movement is something that you can do because you're not injured or you have it, then I highly recommend getting out and moving around. Doing some movement. There is something about moving that just does something in your system. Yes, there's science behind it. I wasn't going to get into all the science and the physicality of it. Just getting movement in and of itself, like, is going to level, like, it's going to raise your level up. And if not, reach out to somebody. Ask for support. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, Carla. Girl, I miss you. Anyway, okay. Guys, that's all I wanted to share this morning. I just wanted to, you know, share what's been going on with me and, you know, what questions that brought up for me, what emotions it stirred up for me, what questions it brought up for me. And you know what? So I think one of the greatest things was the response when I said, I don't know while I'm crying, is that's okay. It's okay that you don't know. Like sometimes that's another lie that came up. Bloop, well, we just pulling all kind of stuff up. That's for another one though. I love you guys. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed Monday. I know it's kind of rainy outside here in the state of Louisiana. And you know what? It still gets to be beautiful. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for in this moment? I'm telling you, I am grateful that both of my legs work. One of them hurts a little bit, and you know what? That's okay. I'm grateful that I even feel pain because it's letting me know that there's some internal work I get to do. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. And DM me if you need help, support.